Alrighty, so it seems weird that we're doing a user interface thing before we get to camera, but here's why we do that. I want to turn this screen into my camera, and then this screen I'm going to keep at my viewport. And so I can see how everything is arranged here, but then with this screen I actually want to be able to control what I'm looking at. And so I have the ability now to grab my camera and just kind of move it around. Oh, I see. I have two different cameras, and that's what's going on. Set as active camera. There we are. So I just right-clicked on that to set it as an active camera. Let me get out of here. What I did 2 weeks ago is I turned a light into an active camera so that I could aim it. Now I need to reset this to be my active camera. So I right-click on it and set active camera. Boom. Now I can see through it. Okay, now when I grab it, I'm just hitting the G key to move it around. I can see the whole space, right? I can see just moving it. I want to actually turn this into something that I can see what's happening here. So I don't see any of the materials. I'm still in the solid view. And if you look up here, there isn't the ability anymore to change your view mode. There is, and this is one of those kind of tricky Blender UI things. If I middle mouse button and click right here and hold, I can drag left and right, and I can see my entire menu. And so here we are. I want to be in material preview. Nah, I'll do actual full-on rendered. And there we are. Cool. So now I can see, just to keep this one a little bit easier, so we know which one's which, I'll move this one to solid mode, and then this one here over to the rendered view. Cool. All right, so I'm just going to hit G, and then as a reminder, we have the ability to kind of move this around on just one axis. So if I go to the move tool, we've seen this before. I've got this little blue square, and I can kind of pick it up. And so that way it's not going up and down on the Z plane at all. It's only going on the X and Y. But I don't have to necessarily go to the move tool for that. I can just hit G and then Shift Z, and it's the same exact thing. So I'm a fan of the shortcuts, and while the gizmos are pretty helpful, learning these shortcuts saves you a lot of time. So G and Shift Z will allow you to frame your composition this way. Conversely, if I want to move it up and down, I can hit G and Z, and I can just move it up and down without worrying about stuff. So that was a lot there. I'd like you to be able to middle mouse button and click on this to drag it, and set your viewport to the render and turn on the camera. Then I'd like you to set this one to solid. Again, you might need a middle mouse button. And I'd like you to practice moving your camera around by hitting G and Shift Z and seeing how that camera is framing the environment, or G and Z and see how your camera is framing it when I go up and down.